Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this new geopolitical conference dedicated to world news, top stories, international news. This is a major blow for Turkey. Turkey, which country is it today, has a somewhat more ambiguous position, which collaborates very well with Russia, Azerbaijan, but which is also a hinge, obviously, one of the elements central to NATO, but which has a very clear position because Turkey does not agree to put itself too much into the American game. Turkey has just suffered a blow hard. A military cargo ship, Turkish, with more than 20 onboard people. This cargo ship crashed. The images are truly chilly in the back. And in terms of the geopolitics, it's a very, very strong signal. It's a major blow. These 20 people on board have automatically expired. For now, according to what we let's learn, there are no survivors. What really happened? Within the framework of this conference, geopolitics, that's what current events are about, that you're going to talk about. But of course, before continuing, as usual, thank you for sharing the conference maximum in all groups. Set lots of likes, and always remember, don't leave your different opinions in comment. Let's delve into the depths. The announcement was done by the Turkish Ministry of Defense. The Turkish Ministry of Defense confirms that a military cargo plane crashed near the border between Greece and Azerbaijan, and that about 20 soldiers were on board. Greece is a potential adversary of Turkey. We need to remember this because the big question that arises today, what is the underlying cause of this? Is this a technical failure? Is it a hostile human activity that has what caused this crash? Is that it? Is that a lot of questions arise? A great many questions arise. So we must to say that the type of device, that is it, what type of device was it and what was its trajectory? This is a military transport aircraft locked C-130, which took off from an airfield in Azerbaijan and was heading towards Turkey. So it's a military cargo ship. The provisional toll, according to the authorities, Turkish authorities, is peak rescue search operation in course, and therefore the exact number of victims and the condition of the survivors remains to be confirmed. In any case, for the moment, we are told that they don't know if there are any survivors, but the operations are, the research continue. And so, in plain terms, it's a Turkish plane that transported 20 people who crashed at the border Georgio-Azeri. Turkey, Georgia, and Azerbaijan have triggered rescue operations and an investigation have been launched. Summer was open. So, what should I say? The investigation, the technique, is currently being blamed. The investigations that were carried out, which are underway, the possible causes will be determined. But at the moment, there are assumptions to check. First, the failure, mechanical or navigational error or weather conditions, local weather that were unfavorable to navigation, or else the human factor, as we were saying. And therefore, any hypothesis of a hostile act that hasn't been raised yet. At this moment, no power, no state has claimed, and no state is accused for now. The Turkish army is in shock over the internal plan. These are tributes that are being returned to soldiers who fell in the crash, even if we don't know yet the overall assessment. So, it must be said, it is a joint investigation which is triggered by Turkey, Georgia, and Azerbaijan. We have technical investigators, black boxes. The black box is going to be examined. The revealed radars and the local witnesses will be consulted to be able to determine exactly what it is which happened, and so which one was the status of the flight. It must be said that the military cargo and the exact composition passengers have not yet been revealed. And so, the initial conclusions of the technical investigation will be released in the coming days, according to the official announcement. And therefore, we cannot say anything for the matter. But what is worrying, that's what just happened. Can a military aircraft be of one in such a failure? And that one, how does it let the plane take off? So, the failure arose. Is this our hostile countries that created this? Was it an incident? Or what really happened? Past. Because when we remember, lately Turkey has been very, very clear. Turkey has taken some very clear positions regarding United States of America compared to the situation in Israel. Turkey has taken very strong positions, very clear, in relation to what is happening in Ukraine. Turkey is asserting itself. So, ultimately, is it a settling of scores? We are facing a situation where we want to bring Turkey to heel? Question mark. And so, it must be said that the incident occurs in a context of cooperation, escalating military tensions between Turkey and Azerbaijan. The joint management of this crisis will obviously strengthen their link, or at least it will put to the ordeal their link, since the cargo ship was leaving Azerbaijan for the Turkey, and along the way, something happened. It's important to remember that there are border tensions. So, the rumors of hostility or interference can ignite the region, that is, be it Georgia, be it Azerbaijan or Turkey, as soon as we will think that it's someone who is at the base. At least the three countries there is a risk of ignition. So ultimately, what happens past Bisand, eventually, the Turkish people are in shock. Turkish authorities are in shock. They don't even know which breast to turn to, because this incident already demonstrates the weakness of military equipment Turkish. Even if these are activities hostile, these are enemies who have attacked the plane, how did the plane do it so that we couldn't resist? Let's talk about a military aircraft. The soldiers are ready for combat, are very tightly controlled. And what was the plane carrying? Humans. But in addition, it goes without saying that there were necessarily some equipment military. So, for the moment, the situation, the risk is that it could be very, very serious. If it turns out that a powerful force is involved, Turkey will not tolerate this at all. If no power is involved, these are Turkey's weaknesses which will be on display. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the front page of the news. May the souls of the dead rest in peace.